Tarehe 29 mwezi wa Juni mwaka 2024. Mtazamaji, bila shaka na kujia moja kwa moja kutoka studio zetu za hapa jijini Nairobi kuleta yote ambayo anagonga vichwa vya habari, na wasema usema jamani, ukiona vielea basi vimeundwa, na vikiundwa tunavipakua. Tuangazie yaliyomo.
Kujeni pole pole. Come and understand us. And you know those leaders wanajaribu kuniambia fanya kazi namna hii, usiongee hii. They cannot advise me because they don't know.
Rigathi apambana na moto wa viongozi wanaokashifu matamshi yake dhidi ya Nordin Haji, ila anasema anajua asemalo.
The military are not supposed to be in the streets. Army is there to defend the country against foreign aggression, not to deal with internal strife.
We will protect critical infrastructure of the three arms of government, of citizens' property and their lives.
Hatua ya jeshi mijini kushika doria yazidi kukashifiwa licha ya Waziri Duale kulituma upya kwa ridhaa ya mahakama.
Viongozi wa vijana, viongozi wa NGOs, civil society, professional bodies, viongozi wa vijana kutoka university, tuketi chini tuongee vile nchi yetu tutapeleka mbele.
Wanasiasa, speak the truth, ambia watu ukweli. Kama huna pesa uambie huna pesa, usiahidi watu mambo ambayo hayatafanyika.
Wanasiasa wabaniwa makanisani. Sasa Rais Ruto ameamua kutana nao Ikulu. Kunani? Na wanasiasa wamkosea heshima mwenda zake mkewe Kalembe Ndile kwa kuvurugana mazishini. Ni nani huyu?
Hii ni NTV Weekendi na Frida Mwaka.
Na mtazamaji, anayetafsiri kwa lugha ishara ni Flora Atieno. Moja kwa moja ni kwamba kinara wa Azimio la Umoja wa Kenya Raila Odinga amekosoa matumizi ya kikatili ya polisi kabiliana na waandamanaji waliokuwa wakiandamana kwa amani, na hatua ya Mahakama Kuu kuruhusu serikali kupeleka wanajeshi kuzima maandamano ya kupinga mswada wa fedha nchini. Odinga anasema kuwepo kwa wanajeshi mitaani ni ishara ya mamlaka ya kiraia kufeli nchini. Hata hivyo, Waziri wa Ulinzi Aden Duale ameitetea hatua hiyo. Hebu sasa tumpate mwanahabari wetu Vincent Odwor na mengi.
Saa chache baada ya Waziri wa Ulinzi Aden Duale kutangaza kutumwa kwa wanajeshi kusaidia huduma ya kitaifa ya polisi kushughulikia kile ametaja kuwa dharura ya kiusalama iliyosababishwa na maandamano na ghasia katika maeneo mbalimbali nchini, kiongozi wa Azimio Raila Odinga ameshikilia kuwa jeshi halifai kuhusishwa.
The military are not supposed to be in the streets. Army is there to defend the country against foreign aggression, not to deal with internal strifes. And that's why it is very wrong for in our court to rule that you can continue to maintain army on our streets.
And any leader, if it reaches a moment where you have to be protected by the military, it means your time is up.
Mahakama iliruhusu kupelekwa kwa jeshi na kuiamuru serikali kutaja muda na upeo wa kupelekwa kwa jeshi ndani ya siku 2. Hata hivyo, kwenye notisi ya gazeti la serikali, Duale amedokeza tu kwamba utumaji huo utahusisha kaunti ya 47 ambapo pana miundo msingi muhimu ya serikali. Waziri ameitetea hatua hiyo.
Watoto wetu wako na haki waandamane, lakini wachunge na wajue kuna wahalifu ambaye wanataka kuchukua nafasi kati yao, kuua watu, kupora mali, kuchoma manyumba kama bunge. Hatutawaruhusu. With the support of Kenya Defence Forces, we will protect critical infrastructure of the three arms of government, of citizens' property and their lives.
Lakini Odinga amekashifu mauaji ya hivi majuzi yaliyotekelezwa na maafisa wa polisi wakati wa maandamano.
But a police officer who goes out and becomes rogue and begins to shoot aimlessly is a criminal who needs to be dealt with in accordance with the law.
Kusonga mbele, upinzani unaonekana kupanga mambo fulani.
Time has now come for Kenyan people to come together as one people and talk as one people and talk about the Kenya we want. We are going to talk about the details of those engagement in the coming weeks.
Kwa vijana, msukumo bado unaendelea. Vincent Odur, NTV.
Na mtazamaji, tukisonga mbele ni kwamba naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua amewashutumu viongozi wanaotishia kumng'atua madarakani na kudai kwamba wanapiga kelele ili wapate kazi serikalini. Alisema kuwa viongozi hao wanafanya kazi usiku kucha ili kumfukuza kutoka serikalini na kwamba hawawezi kuchukua nafasi yake. Haya yanajiri huku viongozi kutoka Pwani wakimkashifu Gachagua kufuatia kauli yake dhidi ya Haji. Mwanahabari wetu Margaret Kimathi na taarifa hiyo kwa kina.
Kufuatia malalamishi yake kuhusu mkurugenzi mkuu wa huduma ya kitaifa ya ujasusi Nordin Haji, naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua amepokea mishale mingi, huku baadhi ya viongozi wakitishia kumng'atua mamlakani. Hii leo katika kaunti ya Murang'a, Gachagua aliwashutumu viongozi hao na kusema kwamba wasidhubutu kumfundisha jinsi ya kuendesha serikali. Alisema kuwa baadhi ya viongozi wanafanya kazi usiku na mchana ili kumfukuza kutoka serikalini.
Ati wanatuambia tutoke kwa serikali. Si serikali ni yetu. Sisi ndio tuliunda hii serikali. From this region we put 47% of our vote. Then you muko pale mmekutana wabunge mkitetea mtu wenu, which is okay. Mnaanza kutuambia sisi tutoke. Serikali yetu mnatuambia tutoke na nyinyi mmekuja juzi. Si wamekuja juzi? Kujeni pole pole.
Viongozi ambao walikuwa wameandamana na naibu rais pia walimtetea vilivyo.
Tunawaambia bring it on. We will deal with it. Na goja nione kama watatoa press statement ya kusema na kuambia watu wa North Eastern wawache ukabila.
Huku haya yakijiri, viongozi kutoka Pwani wamemkashifu Gachagua kufuatia matamshi yake dhidi ya mkurugenzi mkuu wa huduma ya kitaifa ya ujasusi Nordin Haji.
Huyu mtu anaitwa Rigiji, kwamba yeye hana lolote katika akili yake, anafikiria tu saa zote yeye kugandamiza makabila madogo madogo, na yeye ndio mkabila mkubwa zaidi.
Margaret Kimathi, NTV.
Baada ya taarifa yake Margaret Kimathi, mkuu wa utumishi wa umma Felix Koskei ametoa taarifa kwa vyombo vya habari inayoambatana na ahadi aliyoitoa Rais William Ruto katika hotuba yake ya Jumatano baada ya maandamano ya kupinga mswada wa fedha mwaka wa 2024. Mtazamaji, katika ripoti hiyo Rais ako tayari kufanya mazungumzo na vijana ili kudadisi masuala yanayoathiri. Taarifa hiyo iliyotiwa saini na Felix Koskei imesema kwamba serikali imezindua mpango ambao makundi yanayosimamia vijana, viongozi wa dini, wafanya biashara, viongozi wa wengi na wachache bungeni na baraza la magavana kutoa majina ya watu 100 watakaoshiriki vikao vya kamati maalum ya mustakabali wa taifa maarufu NCC. Na baadhi ya ajenda kuu katika mazungumzo hayo ni nafasi ya ajira kwa vijana, ushuru unaotozwa nchi, mzigo wa deni kwa serikali, uwakilishaji na uwajibikaji, jinamizi la ufisadi na masuala ibuka yatakayotangamana na ajenda kuu, kila kundi likitarajiwa kuwasilisha watu 2 watakaoungana na waliochaguliwa kuzunguka kaunti zote 47 wakichambua, kuwakilisha hoja na haja za Wakenya kwa jumla. Mpango huu ni njia moja ya kuwashirikisha wananchi, na afisi ya Rais inatarajia kupokea walioteuliwa kufikia tarehe 7 mwezi Julai mwaka 2024. Na tukisonga mbele ni kwamba kwa mara ya tatu tangu Alhamisi, Rais William Ruto amekutana na viongozi wa Kristo. Na hii leo Ruto alikutana na viongozi wa kanisa la AIPCA huku akitarajia kuwa na viongozi wa madhehebu mbalimbali watamsaidia kuwashawishi vijana wanaoandamana kuketi chini yake kwa mazungumzo. Vijana hao wanaendeleza kampeni ya kupiga marufuku viongozi wa kisiasa makanisani. Ila sasa inaonekana kwamba kanisa ndilo linalokwenda Ikuluni. Mwanahabari wetu Bridget Ngana na mengi.
Kuhakikisha kwamba
viongozi wa kanisa la dhehebu la AIPCA ndicho kikundi cha tatu cha viongozi wa dini ya Kikristo kukutana na Rais William Ruto katika ikulu ya Nairobi baada ya wiki mbili za mshike wa maandamano ambayo kwanza yalipinga mswada wa fedha wa mwaka huu, na sasa maandamano hayo yameendelea kuitisha mabadiliko katika serikali ya Rais William Ruto, hasa uwajibikaji wa matumizi ya fedha za umma na kubatilishwa kwa afisi zisizo na shaka kikatiba kama ile ya mkewe Rachel Ruto, afisi ya mke wa naibu rais Dorcas Rigathi na ile ya mkewe katibu mwandamizi Tesi Mudavadi na hata za manaibu mawaziri. Sasa rais anatarajia kuwa viongozi wa makanisa ya PCEA, Katoliki na AIPCA watawashinikiza wafuasi wao kuridhia wito wa majadiliano.
I would advise the youth. I know there are so many problems that you are going through, you and your generation, and these problems cannot be solved by destroying what we have.
Na niwaombe hawa vijana wetu tuwaongeleshe. Hawana makosa, ni kukosa namna. Lakini as parents, as leaders, as church leaders, as political leaders, mimi na huyu wabombi, sote tuungane, tuongelesha hawa vijana, tupange vizuri ili waelewe we have a plan for them.
Rais Ruto akisema wiki ijayo ako tayari kuwa na majadiliano na viongozi wa miungano yote nchini pamoja na vijana ili kuangazia suluhu za baadhi ya tetesi zilizochangia maandamano yaliyoshuhudiwa nchini.
Tukubaliane vile vile mambo ya expenditure ile ingine yote ya serikali. Pia tukubaliane vile tutakabiliana na mambo ya ufisadi. Ndio tupigane na wakora wote.
Hata hivyo, baadhi ya viongozi wa kanisa la Anglikana kaunti ya Kiambu wameonyesha kuunga mkono msukumo wa vijana wa Gen Z, wakisema sharti ukweli utawale sekta zote serikalini.
Nawe mwanasiasa, speak the truth, ambia watu ukweli. Kama huna pesa uambie huna pesa, usiahidi watu mambo ambayo hayatafanyika.
Wiki hii pia imeshuhudia baadhi ya michango iliyofaa kuwahusisha wanasiasa makanisani ikiahirishwa baada ya waumini hasa kwenye mitandao ya kijamii kutaka wanasiasa hao katu wasiingie kanisani mwao. Jumamosi hii mchango uliotarajiwa kuhudhuriwa na naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua katika kanisa la Katoliki la Kaharati huko Murang'a ulibadilishwa kwa tahadhari na kuwa mchango wa shule. Bridget Ngana, NTV, Nakuru.
Na mtazamaji, hata baada ya Rais William Ruto kusalimu amri na kukataa kutia sahihi mswada wa fedha wa mwaka 2024, makundi ya Wakenya katika maeneo mbalimbali yangali yanaonekana kutoa hamaki zao kwa wabunge wao waliopigia kura mswada huo. Lakini sasa wabunge wanalaumu wenyewe kwa wenyewe, kama ilivyoshuhudiwa katika mazishi ya mkewe mbunge wa Zama Kalembe Ndile, ambapo wanasiasa walishikana mashati kwa kukosa kuelewana. Tumpate mwanahabari wetu Ibrahim Karanja na mengi.
Kwenye mazishi ya Bi Magdalene Kalembe, mkewe mbunge wa zamani na kiongozi wa chama cha TIP marehemu Kalembe Ndile, kwa muda yalishuhudia kizaazaa pale wanasiasa walipozua rabsha. Wawili hawa wanaoonekana kuzozana ni mbunge wa Kibwezi Magharibi Mwengi Mutuse na mwakilishi wadi maalum Albanas Wambua. Familia ya Bi Magdalene Kalembe ikionekana kuwa na hofu kubwa, huku vita hivyo vikielekezwa lilikokuwa jeneza la mwenda zake. Ikabidi watu wa kulilinda, akiwemo gavana wa kwanza wa Makueni Profesa Kivutha Kibwana. Kulingana na mwakilishi wadi Albanas Wambua, hatua ya mbunge huyo kupiga kura kuunga mkono mswada wa fedha wa mwaka 2024 ndiyo iliyokuwa chanzo cha ghasia.
Nilikuwa namuomba kwa heshima yake kwa sababu pale tulikuwa na padri wa kanisa Katoliki ya parish ya Kaunguni, asimame mbele ya mapadri awaombe msamaha na apinduke pande ingine ambao kulikuwa na halaiki ya wananchi.
Jambo analolipinga mbunge Mutuse anayesema vita hivyo vilitokana na mambo ya itifaki. Naibu wa Rais Rigathi Gachagua akiwataka Wakenya kuwa na subra na wabunge hao.
Hao wabunge wetu tuwapatie nafasi watufanyie kazi. Hii maneno ya kuwatukana, kuharibu mali yao, kuwatisha, hakuna haja. Tuwasaidie wabunge wetu.
Vilevile Gachagua akipinga madai kuwa wabunge hao walihongwa kuupitisha mswada. Ikizingatiwa kuwa mchakato wa mswada wa fedha wa mwaka 2024 tayari ulikamilika rais alipokosa kuutia sahihi na kufanya sheria, inaonekana hamaki hizi ni za kuchoshwa na viongozi wao mbali na mswada huo. Kuhusu kuteketezwa kwa afisi ya gavana wa Embu Cecily Mbarire, anasema ni wazi wanawindana wenyewe kwa wenyewe.
Kama unaweza choma ofisi ya county, ufikirie unathuru governor, wewe sio kiongozi worth sitting in any political office.
Lakini ukweli ni kwamba mambo kwa ground yamekuwa magumu kwao. Ibrahim Karanja, NTV.
Sijui kama mtazamaji unakubali hapo kwamba mnara wa Babeli unaanguka. Haya basi, awali ilikuwa tumeiangazia taarifa yake mtumishi wa umma Felix Kosgei kuhusiana na ile ahadi aliyotoa Rais William Ruto ya kutaka kufanya mazungumzo na vijana. Sasa nataka tuipate sauti yake Rais William Ruto kuhusiana na wito huo wa kukutana na vijana na makundi tofauti.
Tuketi chini, viongozi wa makanisa, viongozi wa dini, viongozi wa vijana, viongozi wa NGOs, civil society, professional bodies, viongozi wa vijana kutoka university, tuketi chini tuongee vile nchi yetu tutapeleka mbele. Vile mambo ya madeni ya Kenya tutafanya namna gani? Maneno ya ajira kwa vijana wetu wa Kenya, tuweke mawazo kwa meza.
Haya ndio sauti yake Rais William Ruto. Sasa tusonge mbele na taarifa nyingine, ambapo taasisi ya mafunzo ya sheria nchini KSL imeitaka serikali koma kuwakamata na kuwatisha wanafunzi wake ikiwahutumu kuhusika na maandamano yanaendelea dhidi ya serikali nchini. Na haya yanajiri baada ya kiongozi wa wanafunzi Joshua Okayo kutekwa nyara na kupatikana karibu na mto Maragwa siku mbili baadaye. Okayo alipatikana na majeraha kadhaa akiwa na kiwewe, ishara kuwa aliteswa kabla ya kuachiliwa. Tumpate mwanahabari wetu Fatma Bugu na mengi.
Joshua Okayo aliyetekwa nyara siku ya Jumatano hatimaye amepatikana. Joshua alipatikana jana karibu na mto Maragwa, kaunti ya Murang'a. Ripoti zaarifu kuwa Okayo alionekana na wanakijiji katika hali duni kichakani. Mwanabodaboda Msamaria akamkimbiza hospitalini Avenue, Thika. Kulingana na familia na wawakilishi wa shule ya sheria ya Kenya waliokuwa na Okayo hospitalini, Okayo alionekana mdhaifu, mwenye kiwewe na majeraha sihaba.
Upon finding him, Joshua Okayo seemed to be in a state that one would describe as a state of confusion.
He has told me that he was tortured. He has a lot of pain beginning from the neck and on his entire body.
Taasisi hiyo imesema kuwa serikali inawalenga wanafunzi wake kwa kutangaza kero zao kuhusu jinsi nchi inavyoendeshwa, wakidai wanafunzi wao watatu akiwemo Okayo walitekwa, kuteswa na kuachiliwa na watu wanaoaminika kuwa polisi.
Tuna katiba, na hivyo kutisha wanafunzi, kuwachukua, kuwatupa kwa mto na kuwaumiza ni jambo mbaya sana.
Japo ripoti ya daktari bado haijawekwa wazi kwa kiwango cha mateso aliyopata, kwa sasa yupo chini ya uangalizi mkali wa kisaikolojia.
The way we have seen him, this is not the same person we know. He's not active as he is. So we know and we believe he has gone through a lot.
Kisa chake ni sawia na chaka Samuel Makore aliyetekwa Jumanne kisha kuachiliwa keshoye, na Gabriel Oguda, mwanaharakati mitandaoni ambaye alitekwa na kujipata katika seli ya kituo cha polisi cha Kajiado akidai kudhulumika. Shirika la Police Working Reforms Group limeorodhesha watu 34 waliotekwa na kupotezwa wakati wa maandamano haya pekee. Familia imetoa wito wa uchunguzi wa haraka na wa kina kuhusu kutekwa nyara kwa Okayo. Mashirika mbalimbali ya kutetea haki za kibinadamu pia yameungana kuikashifu serikali na kulaani vitendo vya polisi. Fatma Bugu, NTV.
Na baada ya taarifa yake Fatma Bugu, mtazamaji, tunaelekea mapumzikoni katika awamu yetu ya kwanza, ila tupate yajayo. Walimu watafuta ajira ughaibuni licha uhaba wa walimu uliopo.
Lakini vile hii ekonomi imetufinya, ilinibidi kubadilisha sabuni nikatumia ingine rahisi. Bala, ilibidi nioshe kila kitu mara 2. Sikuwa na otherwise, nikarudia Ariel.
Ariel, usafi bora kwa mwosho mmoja tu.
Shinda Probox nayo. Dial *570#. Chagua option 4 na ujiweke kwenye draw ya kujishindia Probox. Ushindi wako tunautangaza 30th of June. Probox nayo *570#. Tucheze, tusaidie, tushinde.
Cheza Loto Moto. Shinda pesa moto moto.
KASNEB Foundation, in partnership with HELB, ensures that no student is left behind in their pursuit of all KASNEB certificate, diploma, and professional qualifications. The scheme provides finances for tuition from KASNEB accredited institutions and examination fees. The foundation's role is to empower the youth through mentorship and coaching, and also support communities through our robust outreach initiatives. Apply today for the KASNEB Foundation financing scheme at www.hef.co.ke. For inquiries, call us on 0111 661529 or email kasnebfoundation@kasneb.or.ke and KASNEB Foundation on all social media platforms.
Manukato mapya kutoka Downy. Nahitaji manukato ya kunituliza katika shughuli nyingi, au manukato mepesi ili niwe fresh kwenye joto, au manukato ambayo hunifanya niwe maridadi siku nzima, inayodumu kwa nguo zaidi ya manukato ya gharama. Downy mpya, lavender calm, sunrise fresh, sweet elegance, freshness inayochangia kujiamini.
Lulu watatu.
Ndoto zako zimetimia. Jaribu collection mpya iliyo tayari kutumia kwa shilingi 20 tu.
This week on Cars with Big Boy Trev, we preview the next generation BMW X3. Question is, does the new design, language, performance and practicality sway you into purchasing it? Finally, we review the versatile Volkswagen Transporter van. We check on its practicality, versatility, efficiency and value for money proposition against its rivals, the Nissan NV350 and the Toyota Hiace. Catch this and much more on Cars with Big Boy Trev this Sunday, 5 p.m. only on NTV.
Karibu tena mtazamaji, tuendelee na taarifa zetu. Walimu wengi sasa wanaacha kiwango cha malipo kilichotolewa na tume ya kuajiri walimu, wakitaja kuwa hayaendani na nyakati za sasa za kiuchumi, wakati bei ya msingi zimepanda juu pamoja na kukosa kuwapandisha vyeo. Walimu hao wapo mbioni kutia sahihi za mkataba ili kusafiri kwenda ng'ambo kujaza uhaba wa nafasi 400,000 katika nchi ya Uingereza katika ajira itakayokidhi mahitaji yao. Je, hatua itayumbisha vipi sekta ya elimu ambayo ina upungufu wa walimu zaidi ya 100,000? Mwanahabari wetu Frida Okachi na taarifa hii.
Walimu wengi wanaacha malipo yaliyotolewa na tume ya kuajiri walimu TSC kutokana na gharama ya juu ya uchumi. Kulingana nao, TSC inachelewa kuwapandisha vyeo, wengi wakipata motisha wa kufanya kazi nje ya nchi ambako masharti ya kazi ni nafuu.
Hapa Kenya tu ukikuwa mwalimu, ile kitu tu unaweza afford ni maybe kutengeneza kanyumba kadogo kama ka 2 bedroom na kulipia tu maybe watoto wawili tu school fees.
Wakati wa kutia saini mikataba baada ya kupata ajira, wameiomba serikali kuboresha malipo ya walimu ili kupunguza uhamaji.
I handle children with autism and many of the times we lack infrastructure.
Mwakilishi wa shirika la kibinafsi la ajira la Pesua alifichua kuwa nchi nyingi zimekuwa zikipambana na uhaba wa walimu tangu kipindi cha COVID-19 ambapo walimu wengi walipoteza maisha.
Opportunities are still there. And I'm telling you, as we speak, I have thousands and thousands of teachers who are reaching out to me.
Ni jana tu waziri wa elimu Ezekiel Machogu alisema serikali haitaweza kuajiri walimu wa sekondari junior 46,000 kutokana na uhaba wa fedha. Frida Okachi, NTV.
Asante sana somo wangu. Mtazamaji, tukisonga mbele, zaidi ya vijana 100 kadhaa katika eneo la Mlolongo, kaunti ya Machakos wamechangia damu kusaidia matibabu ya wenzao ambao walipata majeraha ya risasi wakati wa maandamano ya Jumanne na Alhamisi ya Gen Z. Wenzao hao sasa wamelazwa katika hospitali mbalimbali nchini. Hata hivyo, vijana hao wameapa kutofumba macho katika harakati yao ya kutafuta haki nchini na kumtaka Rais William Ruto kuanzisha mchakato wa kuunda tume huru ya uchaguzi nchini. Vilevile wameitisha mamlaka huru ya huduma za polisi IPOA na taasisi zingine huru kuanzisha uchunguzi dhidi ya maafisa wa polisi wabaya ambao waliwapiga risasi na kuwaua waandamanaji wasio na hatia wakati wa maandamano ya wiki 2 zilizopita.
Tumejitokeza leo kwa ajili ya kuweza kuchangisha damu kwa wenzetu ambao wako kwenye mahospitali tofauti ambao wameweza kuumia kutokana na maandamano ambayo yamekuwepo ya Finance Bill 2024, na tumeona ni wengi wameweza kuumia na kwa kweli wanahitaji damu, na tunaomba wenzetu kutoka sehemu mbalimbali, kama unaweza tafadhali jitolee.
Mtazamaji wangu, sasa nataka tujifunze Kiswahili ndani ya neno la siku tukichukua mapumziko mafupi.
Kengemeka. Ambia mtu ndiye alisababisha jambo kuharibika. Mfano katika sentensi, naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua amemkengemesha Nordin Haji kuhusu usalama wa taifa.
Colgate Herbal is formulated from a unique blend of natural herbs and is scientifically proven to strengthen teeth and keep gums healthy. Try Colgate Herbal, scientifically proven for strong teeth and healthy gums. Colgate Charcoal, the charcoal toothpaste you can trust.
Daudi akasema, nilikuwa kijana, sasa mimi ni mzee. Sijawahi ona mwenye haki ameachwa, wala wanawe kuombaomba barabarani. Mungu amekuandika viganjani mwake, anaona bidii yako, anaona unavyokazana. Endelea kwa kumtegemea. Siku moja, nasema siku moja, atafanya njia pasipokuwa na njia.
To get siku moja as your skiza tune, dial *811 *931#.
Skiza na Nation.
5 questions with Sarah. Hi guys. Wow, Sarah, your skin is glowing. What beauty soap do you use? I use a beauty soap that keeps my skin soft, moisturized, and protected from germs. But Sarah, the beauty soaps I know don't give germ protection.
Dettol Skincare does. It combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
Karibu sasa mtazamaji, tudunde viwanjani. Kenya Police FC ndio mabingwa wapya wa kombe la Mozartbet baada ya kuabwaga KCB FC mabao 8-7 katika mechi iliyoamuliwa kupitia mikwaju ya penalti kwenye uwanja wa Ulinzi Sport Complex baada ya kumalizika sare tasa baada ya muda wa kawaida na wa ziada. Mlinda lango Patrick Matasi aling'aa katika ushindi huo baada ya kuiokoa penalti moja ya kufunga mwisho la ushindi, na hatimaye polisi waliweza kunyakua taji lao la kwanza chini ya ukufunzi wa kocha Salim Babu. Na katika mikwaju ya penalti timu zote zilifunga penalti 7 mfululizo, lakini Matasi alizuia penalti ya 8 ya polisi ya Shadrack Simiyu. Kisha Matasi alichukua jukumu la kufunga penalti ya kuamua mshindi na hakukosea. Polisi ambao walitunikiwa shilingi milioni 2 kunradhi, kwa sasa wataiwakilisha Kenya katika kombe la shirikisho la CAF.
Wanaondoka na shilingi milioni. Mara wake Farouk ulisaidia tukaingia katika mikwaju ya matuta baada ya dakika 120.
Na kikosi cha raga ya wachezaji 7 kilianza vyema mashindano ya raga ya kombe la bara Afrika nchini Mauritius baada ya kuvuna ushindi katika mechi yake 2 ya kwanza. Na licha ya kuanza kutetea kombe la Afrika kwa ushindi wa mara 2 kwa mpigo, Morans walishindwa kuhakikisha ushindi wa 3 katika mchezo wao wa 3 dhidi ya Madagascar, wakipoteza kwa alama 7-5 kwenye uwanja huo wa Sports Club nchini Mauritius. Morans kama wanavyojulikana walikwaruzana kwenye Mauritius kwa alama 40 katika mechi iliyoandaliwa ugani nchini humo, na wachezaji Edmund Anya na Benson Salem walifunga alama 10 kila mmoja, huku wenzao Dennis Abukuse na Elvis Olukusu wakifunga alama 10 kijumla. Na mtazamaji, siku chache baada ya Wizara ya Michezo kutaka taasisi za elimu kushirikisha wanafunzi kwenye michezo nchini, shule ya Bucharest imeongoza safari hii kwa kuwafadhili wanafunzi takriban 30 kuelekea nchini Uhispania kwa majaribio ya mchezo wa kandanda katika klabu ya Barcelona.
We've had a chance to showcase our skills in Spain. It's a great opportunity for our kids to go and showcase their skills in Spain, and it's a good exposure to them so that they also get to know and learn from the world outside there.
I'm looking forward to going for the Spain trip so that I could learn more about football and get to improve my skills. Well, we've been training, we've been given good football coaches, and we've been going for tournaments, matches to help us improve our skills.
We've been having matches against other teams, and also the staff that are here, the teachers, and we've also been going for away matches.
Haya mtazamaji, baada ya taarifa hizo za spoti nakamilisha taarifa zetu za NTV Weekendi. Siku zote ni Tafida Mwaka nitaitika na kutakia usiku mwanana usiokuwa na bugdha. Fasiri wa lugha ishara ni Flora Atieno. Kwa heri.
This is NTV.
Five questions with Sarah. Hi guys. Wow, Sarah, your skin is glowing. What beauty soap do you use? I use a beauty soap that keeps my skin soft, moisturized, and protected from germs. But Sarah, the beauty soaps I know don't give germ protection.
Dettol Skincare does. It combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
And we need 2 Royco cubes because iron gives you strength to skuma yourself to be the best you can be.
Nivea Pearl and Beauty Deodorant. The perfect balance of 48-hour protection and care for soft, smooth, and beautiful underarms. Try our new Pearl and Beauty Black Pearl for smooth and perfumed underarms.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated GE. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
Greetings from Chance Media, and we are glad you are in time for the show. Today we bring you yet another out of the ordinary business owned by a Kenyan here in the US. And we met at the Houston chapter of the ongoing Daring Abroad Investment Forums. Yes, that's the spirit of the forums. I'm talking about Eliud Mwatha Kimani, who runs a high-end transport business. Yes, he serves VIPs. Also on the show, we'll tell you about the largest Kenyan church in Seattle, Washington, D.C. And here are highlights of what to expect.
Today on Daring Abroad.
We specialize on VVIPs.
Meet Texas-based Eliud Mwatha Kimani, the Kenyan entrepreneur with his very own luxury car business by the name Liberty Travel Group. Find out how he hit the road and how he's able to keep moving forward one trip at a time.
Get Fortune 500 CEOs, celebrities, global icons, vice presidents, presidents.
This, as the Kenyan Community International Church in Seattle, Washington, creates a space for Kenyans to exercise their faith and traditions while abroad.
It took us about 18 years probably to get here.
Great. We begin with the story of Mwatha Mwa, as he is commonly known in Texas business circles. He is the founder and CEO of Liberty Travel Group, an executive travel solutions provider. Let's go. Thank you, Eliud, for this interview, and what a ride.
I'm glad you like it, Alex.
Yeah,
thank you.
With the nice weather, summer.
Yes. Best place to be in the US.
Yes,
and
good,
especially in
good
Texas.
machine.
Thank you, thank you. We use this to move our clients around. One of many on the fleet, taking our folks around the US, all lower 48 states of the continental US, of course, including Alaska and Hawaii. We're always happy to give our clients a ride wherever they want to go.
Your fleet, how many vehicles do you have?
We have about 6 vehicles right now on the fleet, but we have access to as many vehicles as you want, not just in Texas, but across the country for our clients. Yes.
And who are your clients?
My clients happen to be the VVIPs of this world. We get Fortune 500 CEOs, celebrities, global icons, you know, vice presidents, presidents, first ladies, and top government delegations from across the world coming to the US for several reasons. They come as tourists, they come on government official business, they come on benchmarking trips, and we just happen to take care of all of them when they're out here.
So Eliud, give us a typical scenario. For example, a government delegation, a county government delegation, a parastatal, what would be their package, for example?
Absolutely, Alex. So what I do is with my clients, say like government delegations that are coming for a benchmarking trip that probably don't have the connections in the US, I'm able to organize for them the trip depending on what brings them. I can arrange for them to come to, say like the state state capital of Texas or any other state they want. I can arrange for them to meet with their counterparts. So what I do, Alex, again, is end-to-end travel solution provider. So I'm able to
end travel solution provider.
Absolutely. I will get them from their air ticket. When they land to the US, I will be able to organize for them their ground transportation in one of our fine machines out here. And then I will do also accommodation. I organize all their meals end to end. They do not need me the day they get to the airport from the country they're coming from, because I am an accredited travel agent. I am able to get them better rates, and then when you put them all into one package, it becomes even cheaper because of the margin, the profit margins go down, and what we charge our clients is less when it is packaged, as opposed to when they have to take separate bookings for hotels, separate for ground travel, separate for air tickets. I put it all in one package.
Okay, and you said you do this across the U.S.?
Across the U.S., all the lower 48 states, all 48 states, and Hawaii and Alaska, and also Canada. Yes.
So what made you venture into this?
You know, travel, I guess, is in my DNA. I tried a bunch of stuff when I came to the U.S. almost 20 years ago. Came into travel, I loved it. I left for a little bit and I figured out I was lost, and I came back to where I belong, and this is travel. I love it. It is my life. It's a natural thing for me to do.
Is this your day-to-day job? Is this a side hustle?
No, it is not. This is my full-time job.
Full-time job?
This is my full-time job.
Self-employed?
Absolutely. Self-employed for more than 12 years now. Full-time job.
So do you have offices across? How do you run it?
I run it from my office in Dallas, Texas, but I have, I can operate, I'm licensed and registered to operate in the entire US and Canada, and I have affiliates across the country. I could have a delegation landing in New York, another delegation landing in Texas, and another one in Florida at the same time, seamlessly. Yes.
Oh, great. And how many employees, how many people are supporting through this business?
Direct employment is 6 people who are working full-time, but we have, I would say, at least 30 affiliates across the country who have their employees and families and all that they take care of through what I'm doing here.
Your journey to the US, where does it begin? When was this?
My journey begins deep in the heart of rural Kenya. I grew up in Kiambu County, for a guy who went to school barefooted, and by the grace of God, worked my way up through school, went to college in Nairobi, of course, and then I got a job for a stint in the media in Kenya, and then I left and came to the US end of 2006. That's nearly 20 years ago.
You worked in the media sector?
I worked in the media house, yes.
What profession exactly?
I was, I'm trained in college in marketing and PR management, and yes, I did marketing for a local media house. Yes.
Then you got a chance to come to the US?
I got a chance to come to the US. I took the leap, quit my job, and came and started my way from the bottom to where I am today.
So what did you do exactly when you landed? What brought you?
I came as a visitor, and by the grace of God, again, I was able to change my status to a U.S. permanent resident and eventually to a U.S. Citizen. Yes.
So ukifika ulipata job immediately?
No, but I struggled. Not a bit, actually. I struggled a lot. I did all the odd jobs that you hear of. I'm sure you've had a lot of stories.
We know. I've done them as
well.
Yes,
I've done every single odd job in this country, odd hours, terrible jobs, low pay. All bottom line is I was working my way up, and with every job, with every new adventure, I felt like I'm daring to keep going up, and I did.
You dared.
Yes.
So what was the turning point until now you ventured into the hospitality sector? What happened, or how did you transform yourself?
The turning point was in 2009 when I quit my job, December 23rd, 2009. Just in time for Christmas, I was jobless. But I knew I would venture into my own dreams, and I did.
But did you have savings? Did you get a loan? Because this is quite big.
I did not have a loan. I did not have any savings. I had my last check that was barely $200, but I took the leap and moved forward.
I mean, anyone would be interested, because to do business, you either need money or some resources. For example, I always share that I began with a laptop. It's a resource. Networks are resources.
Yes.
The idea.
Yes.
So not necessarily the money, but for you, what was the key?
I took the leap from the odd jobs and moved into the travel industry, which I loved, and became a taxi driver for someone else. And that's where I started up. And I kept going. At some point, I quit that job and I got my own taxi. I worked as a taxi driver. A lot of people knew me for that for a long time. Shut down the taxi business, started my own limousine company in 2012. And I've done that for a long time, and then eventually changed that limousine company from just a limousine company to a full travel group.
Wow. Do you go for any training? Because from marketing, then you're in tours and travel.
I did a lot of training, especially to be an accredited travel agent here in the US. They don't play because you're going to be getting folks' credit cards and stuff. You go through a lot of training and vetting by the US federal government to make sure you are legit and you are being professional, and they keep an eye on us. I did a lot of training, and it has borne fruits. Every so often I pinch myself and I'm like, I cannot believe this is me. Alex, I've had folks in the back of my car and I'm like, this is the who's who of this world. And I'm talking with them one-on-one, a chance millions of people around the world would wish for.
When you say who is who, give us the presidents, prime ministers, ministers.
I've met presidents, prime ministers, first ladies, vice presidents. I've met global icons, huge celebrities in Hollywood and around the world. Soccer folks, I know soccer is big in Kenya. I've met a lot of them when they holidaying in Texas. They love my service. They love my, I respect them. I keep a lot of privacy for them. I never disclose my clients.
Okay, that's another point by the way. What are some of the do's and don'ts, carrying VIPs and what, you have to be careful not to brag around, disclose their, Tell us more.
I would never disclose, even to my closest family, who I have. I would never shout it on social media.
So what are some of the likely pitfalls you can run into in this sector? Because it can't all be rosy.
Absolutely, it is not.
Yeah.
And trust me,
Alex, what are they?
The biggest challenge I have is when I get clients from non-English speaking countries, especially South America, Brazil, Chile, Argentina, and the rest. Oh, that's a big challenge.
You use body language.
You're trying to use body language and you're trying to provide a great service, right? And you don't understand the language. And they only say a whole sentence and you hear only one word. And you're trying to use Google Translate on your phone and it's not exactly working,
Another potential pitfall?
A potential pitfall would be clients who overdemand. They think they can just ask for anything.
Because they've paid.
Because they've paid you to take care of them. Now they want you to tell them why they can get something that is illegal. I can't do that,
What are some of the key regulations that you must abide with?
Every city and state has strict regulations that I adhere to, and of course...
So you must understand various regulations per state?
I understand.
That's also tricky.
I understand all of them, and I abide by all of them.
Do you have partners you work with from Kenya or in Kenya?
I do not have exact partners. I have individuals who reach out to me, and that is a base I'm actually trying to expound, get perhaps an office in Kenya. Kenya is going to be really my first country because it's close to me, to my heart, it's my home. But yes, I intend to have an office pretty soon in Kenya. As we work on getting an office in Nairobi, we can work with partners. Alex, I know you have a sister company, sister to Champs Media.
Champs Adventures.
Yes, I know about it. Yeah. So yeah, we can do business together, Send your folks to Tembea USA as they adventure Kenya. They can also adventure USA, and I will be very happy to receive them here and take really good care of them.
So what's your vision? Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
My vision is that in the next 10 years, I'll probably be 20 times bigger than I am. This will be not just a national company, but will be a worldwide known travel company.
What a story, and indeed dreams are valid. From a taxi driver to a founder of a company that is providing transport services to executives. And on that note, we take a short break. When we return,
it took us about 18 years probably to get here.
We will feature Kenya Community International Church, one of the largest Kenyan-owned churches in the world, and it is based in Seattle.
Nivea Pearl and Beauty Deodorant. The perfect balance of 48-hour protection and care for soft, smooth, and beautiful underarms. Try our new Pearl and Beauty Black Pearl for smooth and perfumed underarms.
It's a thing of beauty, so easy to use. It's just so easy to find what you're looking for.
You know what? I just love the download option.
I always have something for my private jet.
Is the quality good though? What about network issues?
You just have to change the data settings and presto.
How much is it again?
Just 300 bob a month.
Just 3 bubbles of champagne.
That's more like 1 bubble.
Shika the new Showmax app today for all your favorite local, international, and kids' hit shows and movies from just 300 shillings a month. Shika Showmax, streaming for Africa.
Isn't it just air in there? There's really no champagne in the bubble.
Girl, you know what we mean.
I trust Sunlight 2-in-1 washing powder to give my clothes a sensational clean and an uplifting fragrance.
Okay, bye-bye.
Sunlight. More than you expect.
Welcome back to the show. Now, in part one of this show, we featured Eliud Mwadha, who is running a transport company that is serving VIPs, the high-end market. Now, in part two of this show, we will be telling you about one of the largest Kenyan-owned churches in the world, and it is based in Seattle, Washington State. But first, here are some investment tips by Centum Real Estate.
Investment tips with Centum Real Estate. Centum Real Estate. Real estate with real experience.
For record purposes, kindly tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Daisy Mago. I work for Safaricom Sacco. I work in the marketing and business development, where we are very passionate about cooperative movement and bringing in members and empowering members in terms of asset financing and taking them to the next level.
Interesting. Now let's talk about process. How does one begin?
When you're looking at a SACCO, first of all, you have to be a member of an identified SACCO. For us at Safaricom Sacco, number one, you have to be a member for at least 6 months. Build your account for 6 months, and then we are able to finance you up to 10 times your savings. Of course, it will be based on ability to pay. So if you're looking at a house of about 10 million, are you able to service it for the next 20 years? We're giving you a tenor of 25 years. And it does not matter where you are, because our digital channels are very flexible. You're able to even borrow a loan. We have facilitated a number of diaspora members. So from anywhere at the comfort of your desk or from wherever you are, you're able to access a mortgage facility. Once you identify the house that you want, because it depends with the specifications of the client or where you want to live for your next home, the next one will be now to check your ability to service that loan. And once that, we do an appraisal, and then we are able to do the legal documentation and then transfer the house to you. And it only takes about a month to do that, 30 to 60 days to have the house perfected in your name.
Investment tips with Centum Real Estate. Centum Real Estate. Real estate with real experience.
Vital investment tips there. We now cross over to Seattle, Washington State, and here is the story of Kenya Community International Church, one of the largest Kenyan-owned churches in the world. A Sunday service at the Kenya Community International Church in Kent, Seattle, Washington State. Yes, KCIC, as it is commonly known, was opened in 2023, and it is now a vibrant house of God and a meeting point of the Kenyan community in Seattle.
We've got 2 services, one from 10 to 11:30, the other one from 12 to 2 p.m. We've got classes where we are teaching our children Sunday school. We have our boardroom where we are meeting for various meetings. We are also having a hall that we are using ourselves at the Kenya Community International Church, and the community is coming with all the activities that they are needed to do.
This is a project that we initiated in the early 2000s. Our parents, our shoshos, our dads, our moms, they started coming up with this concept and feeling the urge to put the people together and to get the community together in a building that was called after our God and how we feel about our God. So we started with doing the small fundraisers in the early 2000s. So it took us about 18 years probably to get here.
Yes, over 18 years to get here, but a well-deserving journey that has been fulfilled. Cham's media team visited this place in February 2022 when the church was still under construction. And we are glad to have joined the congregation in a Sunday service as they give praise to the Lord for this achievement.
ni Yesu. Na Yesu habadiliki. Kwa nini mimi siwezi kumsaidia?
We had some Kenyan influencers and people who worked in the space with our architect and our civil engineer, but we didn't have at the time people who were fully capable of implementing the architectural design on their own. So we had some other people from Kenya also participate with our architect, but the civil was mainly a civil engineer that's local because they know the local code and everything that we needed to do locally.
The building is about 19,000 square foot, and there are plans to construct more facilities here.
It has most everything we need and everything most we prayed for. The property is about 4.35 acres, so we've built on about half of it. Some of the other area is dedicated to the wetlands, which is a requirement in code because we are next to a river. There's a river that runs behind us. So we have about a small other area that we can develop, and we are really looking forward to developing that for some additional parking, which we need, some more things that we need for our children. We need a bigger playground, a basketball court, and things like that we need for the future.
This is an immigrant church. And what we did, some of us have been here for a long time. And like the children of Israel, you know, everywhere they went, they planted an altar. So when we came here a long time ago, we had no place to worship. We would go to other people's churches, we rent, or we are just allowed to use it. But now we feel proud that now we have bought this property, we have built our church, and we feel that ownership. As immigrants, we feel we own something, and it's a place we can meet, worship our God, and feel good about it. It has been wonderful. Our children are here. Most of them are born here. So we have program for our children, we have program for women, we have program for our men, and the community at large.
I am the leader of the praise and worship, and I also mentor the youth. And with the youth going on with the pandemic and of the opioids and the struggles that they go through, we are able to bring them together and speak about the things that they're going through, whether in diaspora or even in Kenya, wherever they are, they have issues going on. And we welcome, it doesn't matter where you're from, we have lost a lot of people, a lot of the young people, due to not them speaking and the mental health that they go through.
This is a wonderful facility that the Lord has given us as Kenyan community, because one of the challenges here is a place to meet. And the halls here, they are rented maybe with an allowance of 1 year. So this one has attracted so many applicants and so many applicants over every weekend we are having an activity. People are using the place. It's strategic, it's near both highways, and it's accessible to all of us, and so we are thankful.
The leadership says this is not just a church for Sunday services. It has more to offer to the community.
This is where weddings are done in our church. There is a hall where the celebrations are done. We have health awareness services being done where we come to be checked and make sure we are healthy. And people come to hold meetings here. So this facility, the Kenyan Community Church, offers more than a church. There's a church, yes, but it's has been a good blessing, a good gift to our community. It's a place we feel is at home. We are at home. When we are here, we really feel like we are in Kenya. It's another subsection of Kenya, and we feel that proud, that pride.
And that's a glimpse of the Kenya Community International Church in Seattle, Washington State. Praises be to God. Praises be to the Lord, and congratulations to the Kenyan community in Seattle for putting up that impressive house of God. And before we wind up the show, here are some investment opportunities from our partner, Centum Real Estate. Yes, you can now own a property at Palm Ridge at Vipingo Development from as low as 22,000 Kenya shillings per month. And for those interested, kindly contact Centum Re for more information. That's how we wrap up the show. Always a pleasure having your company. And if you want to watch it again, you will find it on our YouTube channel, that is Chams Media TV. For those who've not subscribed, kindly subscribe to the channel. On behalf of my crew at Chams Media, many thanks for watching. See you again next time.
You can have the last laugh while they think that they have left you exposed. Let me tell you, God is lifting you up today. God is lifting you up today. God is lifting you up today. He's taking you to the place of your dreams, I'm telling you. You're going to experience a release, hallelujah, out of bondage, hallelujah, into liberty. Glory to God.
Enjoy up to 100% asset finance, zero processing fees, and flexible repay options through our trusted partners. Visit any Family Bank branch countrywide to learn more and get started.
Jinangu ni Sanchez Mali, host wako wa Power Kama Dawa.
Igialde mwenu hapa hivi ona the bad day.
Nakao unajiuliza Shujaz TV ni nini? Shujaz ni mbogi yako true. Azin tumekama hapa juu yako wewe youthman. Tunakupeleka na rada mambo ya biz, mambo ya talent, mambo ya relationship. Kila kitu unadai kujua kuhusu youthman. Kama una rada hii ni Shujaz TV.
Kila Wednesday 10 mpaka 11 p.m. So usiwahi sahau kutune.
Mpoa shawaambia masani ya usiku sako ni 10 to 11 p.m. kila Wednesday. Sawa?
This is Shujaz TV.
The beauty soaps I know don't give germ protection.
Dettol Skincare does. It combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
Tuko set na Probox yuko hapo anakungoja. Umekujia nini bro?
Nataka hiyo ngiri 100 ama gari.
Ama kaka gari. Umekujia nini?
Hadithi.
Napenda sana. Umekujia nini hapa?
Nimekujia pesa.
Pesa?
Geza pesa.
Esther, please.
Hapana.
I told you.
Nimefikiria baadaye.
Nimefikiria baadaye.
Cheza Loto Moto. Shinda pesa moto moto.
Enjoy up to 100% asset finance, zero processing fees, and flexible repay options through our trusted partners. Visit any Family Bank branch countrywide to learn more and get started.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated GE. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
That you get to join us this evening on The Glam with me, Tracy Wanjiru. Asante sana, because without you, this would not be possible. This is where your beauty is cherished, your wellness is prioritized, and your heart is treasured. And today we're going to be talking about something called acrocordons, and they're popularly known as skin tags. We want to understand what causes skin tags. Do you really need to remove skin tags? And some of the issues that may be caused by skin tags, okay? And to help us with this conversation is Jean Kinuthia from You Glow Aesthetics, and we're so excited to be here again with her. You've seen her, she's a crowd fave, and we're here again. Hi, Jean.
Hi, Tracy. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having us, as always. So today we are talking about skin tags, right? And we have our model here. Yes?
Yes.
So tell us more about skin tags. What are skin tags and what causes skin tags?
So skin tags, this is more lesions that are formed on the skin. So in most cases, there is no major cause to what causes skin tags. So in most cases, they are non-cancerous growth that you see on the skin. We normally have different types of them that they're normally classified into different. So you've mentioned one, the skin tags. We also have DPNs. We have moles. We have seborrheic keratosis. Also, that is a different types. So with them, they're very different. So one of the main reasons that skin tags are formed, one, it's in your family, so it's genetically in someone's DNA. So some guys are prone to getting skin tags than the others, especially if your mom had skin tags, or your dad has skin tags, or your shosho. I'm sure they usually call it mbatata or something. Yeah, so that is one of the main reasons that we normally get skin tags. The other reason is that in some parts of the area, there's a lot of frictions. So you'll easily find them around the armpits, on your private parts, maybe around in your neck. So they normally vary. So that is another part or reason why we normally get them. One of the other reasons is as we grow, the amount of collagen. It's also believed that as we age. So have you ever seen a child with a skin tag?
I actually have not. I haven't, yeah.
Yeah, you haven't. So in most cases, as we grow old, especially from the age of 40, that's when you start seeing skin tags. So maybe throughout your year, you will notice you've never even experienced. But as you age in also, that also increases the chance of you getting them. You can only see them in children, maybe if in parts that they normally get more rubbing, but in most cases it's not as common as compared to when you get older.
Right.
Yeah.
Since you've dealt with so many patients or clients who have skin tags, right? Do they cause discomfort, or why do people want them removed?
So most of the time is because of cosmetic beauty. So we just need them removed because you just want to, most of the time when you wear your makeup and you have the skin tags, it doesn't settle in or stays on the skin in a good way. But there is no harm with having them. So in most cases, most of the clients that we normally have, they just don't like how they look on their face. But in some cases, we normally advise that you get a biopsy. And you can do a biopsy if it's either painful or it's very big in size. So in that time, we normally advise you to go do like a biopsy first before we remove them to see if they are cancerous.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the only way that you could treat or rather remove skin tags, or are there any other methods that you could use?
So we normally have different methods that you can use. Starting with the home remedies, we have oils that are believed to control the blood flow on the skin tags. So when there is no blood flow, in most cases they normally
Falls off. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe in some cases, depending on how they look, they normally even fall off on their own due to friction. And the other thing, we normally have now different professional ways of removing them. So one of them is cryotherapy. So for the cryotherapy, is normally we use nitrogen gas to cold burn them. So we use nitrogen, which provides a cold feel on the skin tag to remove them. And then of course we have the other option, which is for laser electrolysis. So for electrolysis, it's where we normally use heat to burn them, and then when you burn it, it falls off and heals.
Right.
And that is what you're going to use for today.
I also noticed hers are not, because when I think about skin tags, I think of the ones that look like leaves, like small tiny leaves, and hers are not like that. Are they still considered skin tags?
So in most cases, skin tags at an early stage, they're normally flat on the skin, but as they progress, you will realize that they will have like a stalk in between. So that is a skin tag. But at this point, you can either put them as a mold, a DPN, or now maybe an early stage of a skin tag. So as usual, we'll do a double glove. And this is because sometimes, in most cases, there's no blood involved, but just in case.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are there some people who bleed during the process?
Rarely. But in most cases, they don't. Yeah. Lois, we are going to numb your skin for 30 minutes and then we're going to start. Can we start?
Yeah. As you can see, consent is a very important principle. So in everything, make sure that you have consented to whatever it is that you're about to do.
So we're going to do a very thin layer of the numbing cream. The active ingredient is the lidocaine. So that is what we're going to be using for today.
So if you don't have a numbing cream, can you perform this procedure?
I would prefer at least it's comfortable and because it can be a bit painful.
Okay.
So it's easy if at least the client, you prep the skin for that. I'm sure there are some guys who would normally prefer without numbing cream, but at least to make it a bit comfortable, as much comfortable as we can, it's best if we at least numb the skin for 30 minutes. Yeah. And I'm sure you'll ask me, how much pain will it be? So the pain tolerance for every client is very different.
Yeah.
So it's maybe someone that maybe will need to do a bit more, maybe like 40 minutes. For others, 20 minutes. So depending.
And how long does the procedure take, the removal of the skin tags?
So normally there's no time to eat. There's someone who will come in with just one skin tag, and the other person will come with so many from the face to the neck. So it depends with the number of skin tags that we are removing.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to give her 30 minutes and then we're going to come back to her.
Okay. We're now back and Jean is now going to remove the numbing cream. It's been 40 minutes and we're now ready to remove the numbing cream and start the process.
So how are you feeling, Lois?
Okay.
Are you feeling numb?
Yeah.
Are we ready for this?
Yeah, I can't feel some of my part.
Okay.
Especially your lip?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to use a wet damp cotton wool. So remember, I don't want to use any cloth on her face because at least I don't want anything that will cause any bacterial transfer in any way.
I wonder when skin tag removal became popular. Has this always been a thing, or did it just start when people decided we can do every single thing with our faces?
So majorly, initially the technology that was highly used was the creams, which were not guaranteed. At least when you apply, sometimes some will fall off, some won't. And then also depending on you can see how flat they are. So it's hard for you. You just mentioned about like tying them off. So imagine tying off something that is so flat on the skin. It's close to impossible removing it. So initially those are some of the options that we had. But after that, we had the cryo gun. The cryo gun is nice also, highly
that a
used.
cream?
And it's nitrogen liquid gas that is used to, it's very cold on the skin. So it also deprives the supply of oxygen around them. So it's like a cold burn, and then they will fall off over time. So also that's an alternative way of removing. And then now that I think with social media, that has made everything different.
Right.
Yeah.
Because now you have more information on how to do it.
Yes. And then now seeing the before and after, you can easily now know there's a solution for that. You can even start with Lois. How did you get to know about us?
I saw your advert on IG page. Okay. Yeah, on your Grow Clinic.
And you know, I actually came to know about YouGlow because of skin tags.
Yeah.
And then that's when I came to realize that you guys also offer an array of services.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at least with the social media, we can easily reach so many people, and now it's becoming popular. And also realizing that with most people, I think even in beauty in general, you can attest to that. It's growing at a very high rate. Yeah.
And that's why we're here, so that you can keep up with all these trends. There's so much happening, and sometimes you don't even know where to go. And that's why you need to be here with us every single Saturday, because we get to let you know where to get glammed up, all right? All this great beauty, fashion trends, wellness trends, here is where it's at. Is there a way that you can prevent skin tags from forming on your face?
So you can't really, there's no proved way of stopping it. So if they're there, if you're genetically programmed to get them, you'll get them. If collagen is reducing on your face or in your body, you will still get them. If maybe you're experiencing a hormonal imbalance, you will still get them. So there's no way of preventing. So the best thing maybe you can do is just treat them as they come. Yeah.
Lois, I remember you had a question, right? There's one question that you had. Maybe you could address it directly to Jean.
My question was, are skin tags contagious?
So Lois is asking if skin tags are contagious, and no, they are not. However, there is no proof that if maybe we are removing one skin tag, there is a possibility of it regrowing. But there's a possibility of the one that was, you remember we have different stages of how they grow. So sometimes maybe we'll say, I did this treatment 1 year ago, they've come back. It's not that they were contagious. It's just that there was just an internal dysfunctioning with your skin. So if it was an hormonal imbalance, you're experiencing it again. If maybe you had skin tags that were growing, now they have come to maturity and you can see them. But it's not that you are, or maybe if she touches you, you get it. No. When you check the skin tags under the microscope, what you see is skin cells. There's an overproduction of cells, and that's why you can see it's already protruded on the skin. And then the characteristic of collagen in that under the microscope, it's a bit inflamed more than normal. So yes, there's an imbalance with the collagen. Yeah.
So there's an overproduction of something, which is what you're saying, the skin cells, and then the collagen also looks inflamed.
Inflamed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I see that you have some sort of like needle.
Yes.
What is that for?
This is what we normally use to burn the skin tags away. So it's a one-use needle that we're going to use.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said needle and I could see Lois's eyes just... Were you shocked?
Yeah.
I also didn't think I would see a needle.
I'm so afraid of this.
Oh, okay.
I have much tension, actually.
You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
So like...
The moment I feel my pain starting to fade, it's like I'm going back to myself on a really good day.
Panadol Extra releases you from strong pain. Panadol, release starts here.
New Downy Perfume Collection. Sometimes I need a scent to keep me calm amongst the chaos, or a light fragrance that keeps me fresh in the heat, or a perfume that feels elegant all day and into the night, lasting longer than expensive perfumes. New Downy, lavender calm, sunrise fresh, and sweet elegance, freshness that inspires confidence. Your dreams have come true. Try it for only 20 shillings.
This week on Cars with Big Boy Trev, we preview the next generation BMW X3. Question is, does the new design language, performance and practicality sway you into purchasing it? Finally, we review the versatile Volkswagen Transporter van. We check out its practicality, versatility, efficiency and value for money proposition against its rivals, the Nissan NV350 and the Toyota Hiace. Catch this and much more on Cars with Big Boy Trev this Sunday, 5 p.m. only on NTV.
What is that you're putting on her face now?
So this is a disinfectant.
Oh, okay, got it. I don't know why I thought it was an oil.
And it's a diluted disinfectant, at least.
How long have you had skin tags, Lois?
I started realizing I have them since I was in high school. Yeah.
Lois, I'm very sorry, but I'm also panicking on your behalf. I think I saw the needle and I also panicked, but I believe that if none of Jean's clients have complained, then you will not be the first. Yeah?
Sure. So we're going to start at 5. At a bit.
Yeah, so 4 to 5?
At 5.
At 5. How are you feeling, Lois?
A bit discomfortable.
Okay. Would you say pain?
Itchy.
Itchy, but no pain?
Yeah.
Okay, if you stand close to her face, it smells like nyama choma.
Oh yeah.
It does, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is because of the bun.
Yes. This is very interesting to me, because this is not how I expected it to be, honestly. I've never seen skin tag removal, even on YouTube.
But you've never?
I've never. So this is really fascinating. So by the end of this process, will the skin tags be visibly gone?
No. So for the first time, she will look, you remember now she's a bit numbed.
Yes.
So by the time she's leaving, the numbing cream will have gone down. So she will be a bit inflamed, a bit red, but okay. And then after that, she will scab off. You see how you hit your hand and then after that it becomes dark?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So it will become dark, then scab off.
So it's like a wound now that has been created. Okay.
Yes. And then now, since we've burnt off the skin tags, they will just now heal and scab off. So this process normally takes at least for the initial healing process, 7 days. 7 to 14 days, depending on the healing ability of everyone. And then maybe for a full recovery, we can do 2 months to 2 months.
What are the chances of them coming back?
So chances of them coming back is close to 0. The only thing that can happen, if they're hormonal, they can still come back anytime that you have a hormonal imbalance. And then if they're genetic, we normally have, I'm sure you've realized or maybe noticed, they normally start when they're very small and then they grow over time. So maybe as we are removing, there's some that are still growing. So depending on how much you are you can be able to, your body produces them, or maybe how prone you are to getting skin tags, that will also guide how often you're supposed to do the treatment.
Can you see someone, or can you look at someone and say, this one might recur, or this one might not recur?
In most cases, there's no way to know.
Okay.
Until maybe a few years down the line, they still come back. So imagine when you were pregnant, you had the skin tags. So that means the next time you're pregnant, the chances of them coming back is also high. And then also for maybe if someone is genetic, the chances of them coming back, depending on the what stage of maybe of growth they are in. So there's no like specific way of telling, for sure. Yeah.
So we're almost done. You're just finishing up with the forehead area.
Yeah.
So after she's done with her treatments, how many sessions would she need?
In most cases, it's only a one-time thing. So someone will tell you, I used to have skin tags, and when you look at them, you can't even tell. But if it's caused by something like hormonal change, the next time you have a child, they will definitely. And then for some, you realize the more people normally have them, so we cannot remove everything all at once.
Okay.
So sometimes there's that one, maybe once in 2 years, once in every year, once in every 6 months, depending on how fast you're prone to growing skin tags.
Okay.
It's really advisable as you do the skin tag, you also take a proper post care just to prevent that.
Okay. So can you take us through how the post care looks like?
So since this is trauma on the skin, the first key thing to do is to ensure at least that the healing process is as smooth as possible. And then I'm so sure immediately, maybe an hour after this, after the numbing cream has gone down, she would start feeling itchy. So it's very important. It's the same way you go to a dentist and the numbing cream goes off. So if that happens, you really need to soothe the skin as much as possible. So we will provide her with an aloe gel that will will provide a soothing effect after. Yeah.
So what about her skincare routine? Can she use sunscreen after? Can she use maybe a retinol or, vitamin C, a hyaluronic acid? Can she use that, or just sunscreen and a moisturizer?
So for the first few days, it's important for her to either use a hyaluronic acid or a soothing gel before, and then a sunscreen. So already after doing this, the body will try defend the skin. And one of the ways in which the skin tries to defend itself is by producing melanin, just to protect that area. So to prevent that, we can first introduce the sunscreen, so she can be reapplying her sunscreen. And then once the skin now is healed and now maybe the scabbing off has started, she can resume back to her routine.
Okay.
Yeah, so no actives.
Okay. When you actually come close to the skin, it looks like if you got a scratch, just as you were saying, you got a scratch and it's like forming some sort of scab. It doesn't look the same way as it did before.
It did before.
Yeah, it did. Does that one hurt? Lois, does that one hurt?
None.
Does it hurt?
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
Okay.
We have one here, so maybe don't try as much as possible. You see, this one, it's on the beginning part of growth. Even this. And that is what I was telling you. In most cases, when you do an analysis, or maybe someone will ask you, so how much, with these ones, how much can we maybe do it for? Or maybe how long will it take? There is no easy way of telling until maybe you see someone.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Lois, out of 10, how would you rate your treatment today?
10 over 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. Our kids was gentle.
Okay. You know what? I'm really trying not to give my intrusive thoughts a lot of room, but I feel like telling you, unasikia But we're done. That was actually faster than I thought. The numbing took more time than the actual process.
Yeah, so immediately after we've numbed the skin, it's faster. And then compared to how many skin tags she had and the moles, there were not as many. So it doesn't take as much time.
So now that is the aloe gel that you were talking about.
Yeah, so this is the aloe gel. We try as much as possible not to apply anything that will irritate the skin in any way. So at least the aloe gel is one. So I'm going to just apply her one layer of it. So this can feel a bit stingy. How you feeling? Are you good? I'm good. So you will sometimes hear of guys saying dry healing, oil healing. So it varies. They're both nice. We try as much as possible to avoid any active ingredient. So the best thing is just to soothe and protect. Soothe and protect. So the other thing that I'll do, I think Lois, sunscreen will be your best friend for a few days. And this is to protect you from pigmentation.
Jean from YouGlow Aesthetics has decided to extend a discount for you if you want a skin tag removal treatment. So all you need to do is come here and say that we referred you, and the code is the Glam NTV 10. The Glam NTV 10. So come here, give them that code, and they will give you a 10% discount. You want to get the best services from the best people in the industry. So thank you, Jean, for that, and of course thank us.
Thank you, Tracy.
So we're done, and we've gone through the post-care, but even as we extend this discount code and open the invitation for anyone who has skin tags and wants them removed, is there anything that they need to do before coming here for the skin tag removal?
So in most cases, maybe you would want to know what's the budget that maybe you will come and maybe pay for. So in most cases, we are not able to tell you an estimated amount, but what you can do is just take a photo of the skin tags that you have. Is it your face? Is it your décolleté? Is it your some parts of your body? So you just take a photo of what you have, send it on our WhatsApp, and then we'll be able to advise you. We don't have any pre-care advice on that, because in most cases we are not even interfering with the deeper layer of the skin. So it's very superficial. The best thing maybe you can do is at least just cleanse your face, use your SPF, and then you can book in for the treatment. And then to book in with us for the treatment, what you need is at least send us a photo of how they look and how many, and then you can get an estimate. And then it's more of post-care compared to pre-care. Yeah, so it's important to follow up on the aftercare in most cases.
But if you also want an in-depth analysis, they do have a skin tag analysis here, right? Before you get your skin tag removed.
Yeah, and we also have a derma who normally does the biopsy. So if we feel like maybe there's any precautions that we should take prior removing the skin tags, we normally do a biopsy for that before we remove. Yeah.
Are there certain types of people that cannot do skin tag removals?
I think you've asked a very good question. This treatment is not for guys who are keloid tendon. Keloids, this is the overproduction of cells with when you have trauma on the skin. So if you I think maybe you've seen guys who have pierced their ear, and then they normally get like a growth behind the ears. So with those guys, when you do such treatments, they are also prone to getting keloids, and we really avoid that. Also, the other thing that we normally try avoid is someone is pregnant. There is no given statistic what can happen to a pregnant woman, but in most cases, it's safe if at least you can have it after delivery and after breastfeeding.
Thank you so much, Lois. Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm so happy today.
All right, thank you so much, Lois. Thank you so much, Jean, again. Always a pleasure to be here at YouGlow Aesthetics. And thank you for making today's episode possible. I've been yours truly, Tracy Wanjiru. See you guys next weekend. This is The Glam. Are there certain types of people that cannot take? Are there? And thank you for making today's episode possible. It's Adara Take.
And then there's something we've forgotten.
What happened? Forgotten?
Matibabu labda ni TB ni ugonjwa wa kweli. Ukipimwa matibabu yapo utapona. Daktari kushauri tumia dawa kwa nidhamu. Elimu tupashane tupige vita TB. Pimwa TB waishi poa. TB waishi poa.
This is NTV.
Right, good evening and welcome to NTV Weekend Edition on this 29th day of June 2024. The highlights out of stories making headlines tonight.
Mimi nataka tukuje tuketi chini. Viongozi wa makanisa, viongozi wa dini, viongozi wa vijana.
Bishops come to Zakayo's house. President William Ruto hosts 3 delegations of Christian clergy in 3 days. What is the end game? Also tonight,
he looked shaken and he has told me that he was tortured.
Shaken and tortured. Kenya School of Law student leader Joshua Okaya found by the river banks in Moranga after being abducted by the police. Plus,
the military are not supposed to be in the streets. If it reaches a moment where you have to be protected by the military, it means your time is up.
Recall the military. Azimio leaders call out the government for deploying KDF to quell Gen Z protests. And
we are holding the young girls, encouraging them in the schools, in colleges, and most of all, when they actually get jobs in the aviation sector as young aviation professionals.
The sky is no limit. Story of Mercy Makau and her determination to see women take to the skies on equality tonight.
Live from Nation Center, this is Weekend Edition with James Smart.
Well, good evening everyone and welcome to the program. Our sign language interpreter is Flora Atieno. Let's start where we should. And for the 3rd consecutive day, President William Ruto has met the 3rd congregation of Christian leaders at State House Nairobi in his attempt to have them sway their flock towards dialogue, especially with the disenfranchised youth who have promised to continue with protests until he yields to all their demands. The church played a critical role in securing President William Ruto's victory in the 2022 general election, and now the president's hope that the men and women of cloth will mediate between him and the youth and hopefully broker a truce, as Bridget Ngana tells us.
Bishops from the African Independent Pentecostal Church of Africa, AIPCA, were the 3rd batch of Christian clerics to visit State House after their colleagues from the Presbyterian and Catholic denominations also visited the house on the hill. This time, the head of state hoping that the church will intervene in persuading its faithful from taking part in the nationwide anti-tax protests that have since been egged on by calls for government to cut expenditure and scrap off unconstitutional offices that were also budgeted for in the now rejected Finance Bill of 2024. The president seemingly toning down from his previous speeches by extending an olive branch to the youthful protesters.
I would advise the youth. I know there are so many problems that we are going through, you and your generation, and these problems cannot be solved by destroying what we have.
Na niwaombe hawa vijana wetu
tuwaongeleshe. Hawana makosa, ni kukosa namna. Lakini as parents, as leaders, as church leaders, as political leaders, mimi na huyu wa Bombi, sote tuungane, tuongelesha hawa vijana, tupange vizuri ili waelewe we have a plan for them.
Next week, the president is expected to convene a national steering committee that will include all representatives from the unions and possibly the leaderless Gen Z's movement.
Tukubaliane vile vile mambo ya expenditure ile ingine yote ya serikali. Pia tukubaliane vile tutakabiliana na mambo ya ufisadi. Ndio tupigane na wakora wote.
However, calls for a ceasefire by a section of religious leaders have also been met with calls for accountability from the church.
Ujumbe wa vijana umefika, uliotuwakilisha sisi sote, lakini hapa palipofika tusiendelee kuiharibu nchi yetu ya Kenya.
Tunapoendelea kufanya maandamano kwa sasa, basi tujue kwamba tunahatarisha maisha ya wengine na biashara na hata utendaji kazi wa watu.
Nawe mwanasiasa, speak the truth, ambia watu ukweli. Kama huna pesa uambie huna pesa, usiahidi watu mambo ambayo hayatafanyika.
This week has seen an online movement dubbed #OccupyChurches successfully cancelling fundraising events where politicians and their spouses had been invited. The movement has petitioned church leaders to deplatform politicians from speaking at the pulpit. On Saturday, a fundraiser at Kaharate Catholic Church in Murang'a County, where the deputy president was to preside over, was cancelled after public outcry, and the event was moved to a nearby public school.
Because the church is the conscience of the nation. And now that the president has started that engagement with the church leaders, tuendelee na hawa watoto wetu na viongozi, and we'll come up with a good country.
The protests are said to continue next week despite calls for dialogue. Bridget Ngana, NTV, Nakuru.
Well, the president of the Kenya School of Law, KSL Student Governing Council, Joshua Okaya, who was abducted by police last Wednesday, has been found alive near Maragua River in Murang'a County in a condition that implies he was tortured. According to his family, Okaya, who went missing during the peak of the anti-finance bill demonstrations, had injuries on his neck and chest and is currently in psychological trauma. And as Fatuma Bugu reports, the incidences of extrajudicial abduction has cast a sharp spotlight on the safety of student activists in Kenya, especially those outspoken against punitive government policies.
Joshua Okayo, a student leader at the Kenya School of Law, has been found near Maragua River in Murang'a County, ending 2 nights of horror for the family and friends that began with his abduction on Wednesday. According to his family, Okayo appeared shaken, weak, and showed signs of torture.
Upon finding him, Joshua Okayo seemed to be in a state that one would describe as a state of confusion.
He has told me that he was tortured. He has a lot of pain beginning from the neck and on his entire body.
Medical staff have reported that he is under close observation due to his condition, especially the psychological trauma he endured.
The way we have seen him, this is not the same person we know. He's not active as he is. So we know and we believe he has gone through a lot.
We have been shaken, we have been threatened by this issue.
The abductions incidences have sparked widespread concern about the safety and well-being of student activists in Kenya, particularly those who have been vocal in their opposition to punitive government policies. On Friday, Saturday Nation columnist and parliamentary staffer in the Office of Minority Leader, Gabriel Oguda, highlighted his 2 nights of horror after being abducted by the police. The government has been using the abductions as a strategy to defuse the protest against the Finance Bill 2024.
Tuna katiba na tukiahidi kwamba sisi tunafuata katiba. Wanafunzi wako na uhuru wa kuandamana, kwa hivyo kutisha wanafunzi, kuwachukua, kuwatupa kwa mto na kuwaumiza ni jambo mbaya sana.
What we have experienced in the few days is the government trying to take us during the days before we had our constitution.
The youth have emphasized on the need for justice and accountability for these distressing incidents involving law enforcement officers. Fatwa Bugu, NTV, Mombasa.
And as Biwala Moja, One Kenya coalition leader Raila Odinga has faulted the brutal use of police to deal with peaceful protesters and the move by the High Court to allow the government to deploy the Kenya Defence Forces to quell the countrywide anti-finance bill protests. Odinga says the military presence in the streets is a sign of a failed civilian authority in the country, even as Defence Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale defends the move. NTV Vincent Odwor has that report.
Hours after the Defense Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale gazetted the deployment of the military to assist the National Police Service in response to what he termed as security emergency caused by violent protests in various parts of the country, Azimio leader Raila Odinga maintains that the military shouldn't be involved.
The military are not supposed to be in the streets. Army is there to defend the country against foreign aggression, not to deal with internal strifes. And that's why it is very wrong for him, our court, to rule that you can continue to maintain army on our streets.
And any leader, if it reaches a moment where you have to be protected by the military, it means your time is up.
The court allowed the military deployment and mandated the government to outline the duration and scope of the military deployment within 2 days. However, in a second Gazette notice, Duale has only indicated that the deployment will cover the 47 counties where critical installation and infrastructure are located, and that it shall continue until normalcy is restored. CS Duale has defended the move.
Watoto wetu wako na haki waandamane, lakini wachunge na wajue kuna wahalifu ambaye wanataka kuchukua nafasi kati yao, kuua watu, kupora mali, kuchoma manyumba kama bunge. Hatutawaruhusu. With the support of Kenya Defence Forces, we will protect critical infrastructure of the three arms of government, of citizens' property and their lives.
But Odinga says the recent killings by trigger-happy police officers during the protests were unnecessary.
But a police officer who goes out and becomes rogue and begins to shoot aimlessly is a criminal who needs to be dealt with in accordance with the law.
Moving forward, the opposition seems to be working on something.
Time has now come for Kenyan people to come together as one people and talk as one people and talk about the Kenya we want. We are going to talk about the details of those engagement in the coming weeks.
For the citizens, the struggle continues. Vincent Odwor, NTV.
Well, and 3 days since President William Ruto's concession and subsequent refusal to assent to the Finance Bill of 2024, a section of members of Parliament who supported the bill are still finding it rough with their constituents on the ground, with some facing attacks that include physical assault or an attack on their homes and properties. In Makueni County, scuffles involving area MP Mwangi Mutuse dishonored the funeral of Magdalene Kalembe, wife to former MP, the late Kalembe Ndile. This, as those facing attacks blame it on local political differences, as Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua calls for patience from the besieged lawmakers.
At the funeral of Magdalene Kalembe, wife to former Member of Parliament and TIP party leader, the late Kalembe Ndile, chaos erupted, briefly interrupting the service as politicians and their supporters lost sense, physically engaging each other. At the center of the fracas were Kibwezi West Member of Parliament Mwangi Mutuse and nominated MCA Albanas Wambua. The family of Kalembe shattered in fear as the fracas went towards the casket, forcing family and friends such as former Governor Professor Kivutha Kibwana to stand guard. MCA Wambua says that MP Mutuse's support of the finance bill was the reason for the fracas.
Nilikuwa namuomba kwa heshima yake
kwa sababu pale tulikuwa na padri wa kanisa Katoliki ya parish ya Kaunguni, asimame mbele ya mapadri awaombe msamaha na apinduke pande ingine ambao kulikuwa na halaiki ya wananchi.
The Member of Parliament, however, denied the claims, blaming it on local politics and differences on protocol. Elsewhere, the intolerance against members of parliament who supported the bill was seen in Kimilili, when a section of locals attacked MP Didmas Baraza's home, adding the vocal lawmaker to the list of leaders who have found themselves on the receiving end since the beginning of the finance bill discourse. Others who had their homes, offices and properties attacked within the past 1 week include Leader of Majority Kimani Ichung'wah, Majority Whip Silvanus Osoro, Dagoretti South's John Kiarie, Molo Member of Parliament Kuria Kimani, who was the poster boy of the bill, Kuria East's Marwa Kitayama, Rahim Dawood of Imenti North, Fabian Muli of Kangundo, and Embu Governor and UDA Chairperson Cecily Mbarire. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua imploring on Kenyans to spare the MPs.
Many of you are disappointed with the way they voted here and there. Lakini sasa si mtakuwa na nafasi wakati ya uchaguzi. Saa hii tuwapatie nafasi wafanye kazi. Nataka kuuliza watu wetu wote, especially from this region, au wabunge wetu tuwapatie nafasi watufanyie kazi. Hii maneno ya kuwatukana, kuharibu mali yao, kuwatisha, hakuna haja. Tuwasaidie wabunge wetu.
Gachagua also refutes claims that the government had bribed the lawmakers to pass the bill.
Sisi hakuna pesa tulitoa ati milioni 2 ya kupatia wajumbe. It is not true. Let us not, tusiharibie watu majina. Hakuna haja. Let us not castigate members of parliament ati ya kwamba alipewa pesa wapige kura.
With the conversation on the finance bill having been concluded with President Ruto's concession and with the subsequent refusal to sign it, it is unusual that these attacks are still being carried out, with some leaders blaming local politics and settling scores, as did Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire over the torching of her office in Embu.
Kama unaweza choma ofisi ya county, ufikirie unathuru governor, wewe sio kiongozi worth sitting in any political office.
Ibrahim Karanja, NTV.
And Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has told of leaders threatening to impeach him. Gachagua said some leaders are working round the clock to chase him out of government, arguing they cannot replace him. This comes even as coast leaders criticized the DP for blaming NIS Director General Nordin Haji in the wake of recent protests. Margaret Kimathi has that story.
Following his stance against the National Intelligence Service Director General Nordin Haji, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has found himself on the receiving end, with some leaders threatening to impeach him. Today in Murang'a, the DP told of the leaders, saying they shouldn't dare to lecture him on how to run the government.
Ati wanatuambia tutoke kwa serikali. Si serikali ni yetu. Sisi ndio tuliunda hii serikali. From this region, we put 47% of our vote. Then you muko pale mumekutana wabunge mkitetea mtu wenu, which is okay. Mnaanza kutuambia sisi tutoke. Serikali yetu mnatuambia tutoke na nyinyi mmekuja juzi. Si wamekuja juzi? Kujeni pole pole. Come and understand us. And you know those leaders wanajaribu kuniambia fanya kazi namna hii, usiongee hii. They cannot advise me because they don't know.
Leaders who had accompanied the Deputy President said they will not be cowed by the impeachment threats from the MPs who are trying to undermine the DP.
Tunawaambia bring it on. We will deal with it. Nagoja nione kama watatoa press statement ya kusema na kuambia watu wa North Eastern wawache ukabila.
Tulianza tukiwa pamoja, na ndio tuweze kushikilia watu wetu. Lazima tutembee pamoja na tuongee kwa sauti moja.
Meanwhile, Kotu Secretary General Francis Atwoli has fired a salvo at the DP, faulting him for antagonizing the president.
Government must speak in one voice. If somebody is here who can reach the deputy president amwambie let him act foolish na support his president for the total unity this country requires. Gachagua might be in the government and yet is outside government and he doesn't know. Ni lazima sisi tupige frimbi tumwambie bwana DP you are offside.
Coastal leaders led by former Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho have come to the defense of National Intelligence Service Director General Nordin Haji after DP Rigathi Gachagua criticized his performance and called for his resignation. Defense CS Aden Duale has also joined those chastising the DP.
Huyu mtu anaitwa Rigiji, kwamba yeye hana lolote katika akili yake, anafikiria tu saa zote yeye kugandamiza makabila madogo madogo, na yeye ndio mkabila mkubwa zaidi.
Watu wametoka wakasema mswada ukataliwe. Tafadhalini vile vyombo husika, jifunzeni kusikiza sauti za wananchi.
Kama wewe unafikiri unaweza kuleta mungiki, hata hawa vijana wanaweza kulinda serikali yao. Viongozi wachunge utterance yao.
Margaret Kimathi, NTV.
Well, now, let's shift gears and away from politics. Mercy Macau's love of flying knows no bounds. After founding a club for young aviation enthusiasts in 2012, she has expanded her engagement to mentor women in the industry. Through this initiative, Mercy aims to provide a supportive network and create opportunities for women in traditional male-dominated aviation and aerospace industries. Now, with over 15 years of experience in the industry, Mercy Macau is also a passionate advocate for gender equity in the aviation and aerospace industry. Since 2019, she has served as the founder and chairperson of the Association of Women in Corporate and Business Aviation. NTV's Rose Wangoi spoke with Mercy Macau, and her story is next on our weekly segment of Equality.
I am Mercy Macau. From an early age, I was fascinated by aviation. I grew up in the farmlands of Eldoret, and every time I saw the crop sprayer, I really just wanted to know who was flying that and how did it fly. And that's how I ended up at the Kenya School of Flying, where I pursued my private pilot's license, and that was the beginning of a love story with the skies. I've been in the aviation for the last 14 years, during which I've been able to establish 5 social enterprises that are impacting positively on different sectors of the Kenyan and African aviation industry. I'm a pilot and I'm working on my instructors. This will help me to get more youth into this technology, encourage more women. I realized a lot of people had questions in regards to the industry. There was very little information, like even as basics as what does it take to be, a pilot. And many people could not differentiate the different arms of, government that actually even regulate or manage the aviation system. And that inspired me to form the Young Aviators Club of Africa, an organization that nurtures not only Kenya's next generation of aviation professionals, but Africa's next generation of aviation professionals. And we are holding the young girls, encouraging them in the schools, in colleges, and most of all, when they actually get jobs in the aviation sector as young aviation professionals, because there are gaps. There are courses in the aviation sector which demand that someone goes on internship for 3 months. For example, aeronautical engineering and flight operations and dispatch. So if a young aviation professional goes into a company and there are women there, they take it upon themselves to hold the hand of this young woman. During my fixed wing training, I was the only lady in class, and when I went for my unmanned sector training, I realized even there, things have not changed very much. I was the only woman who was there. And like I said recently, I was one of the people who are involved in the review of the Kenya drone regulations, and out of a team of 11, again, I was the only lady. So that encourages me to give back to the community, particularly to the girls interested in aviation.
My name is Mosinepe. I hold a private pilot's license and I'm working towards my commercial pilot license. And I have 120 hours, 60 solo flight hours and 60 dual hours. My first solo flight was the most amazing thing that has ever happened to me. I come from Marsabit, a very interesting place. Before, we were not given that privilege to go to school, but I'm lucky. I went to school. Since I was young, I've always wanted to fly from the Rendile community, and I'm the first and the only lady pilot, and I hope to be an inspiration to many girls out there.
I'm in my second level, that is the commercial pilot licensing. I'm a CPL student. As a young kid, my mom used to dress me like a pilot, a male pilot, because I used to hate dresses personally. And also I was privileged to live close to the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. So every 5 minutes, I used to time the aircraft as they are passing, go and look at them. And in my head, I used to tell my dad, in future, you'll be watching me doing that, and I'll also carry you in that aircraft. That's why I found myself in the industry, because even no one could change my mind about my career or anything. We are like 8 students. The population is covered much by the boys. So, but we don't care about that. We're here to achieve and make our lives different as the ladies. And I believe we are going to make a change in this industry.
My excitement is there, but my joy will come when they are finally, out of here. They've got their commercial licenses, they've got their ratings, and they are gainfully employed. Gender imbalance has been there, but now we are all talking about gender equity, and there are opportunities. And I call upon women, girls who are interested in the aviation industry. They should not fear, they should not hold back, because this is our time. And what we are doing under the Association of Women in Business and Corporate Aviation, we are calling in women entrepreneurs. We have women who actually own training organizations, and we are also working on the low-hanging fruits. There are courses that are very affordable, not necessarily pilot training. And once these women are gainfully employed, they can always further on to pilot training if that's what they want. Like the Kenya Civil Aviation has a lot of women in its top, ranks, and they are not from the cockpit, but they are highly skilled. Some from STEM, related courses, right? And as AWICA, we are also trying to open up on the various, career options that are there in aviation, like aviation law, aviation medicine, and hence we grow our numbers. Indeed, we have other challenges that have restricted our growth. Work-family balance has been a challenge over time, and we are live to it, and we are coming up with mechanisms to make this, more manageable. And with AWICA in place, someone has sisters where we can compare notes and also borrow best practice from each other. You're a pilot, all right, and you have your licenses, but that time comes when you can't be able to fly, all right? So how can you still be beneficial to the company? And if you fly as a freelance pilot, how are you still going to make ends meet during that time? So the aspects of expanding, our field. For instance, a pilot can still go into management. A pilot, nothing stops you from going into quality assurance. So you have more value to that company, not just at cockpit level. The same applies to cabin crew. The drones are taking forefront because they are going to make transportation easy, they are going to make it safer and cleaner. And Kenya has not been left behind in this. I'm very excited about this technology because it is employing a lot of young people. And we actually have organizations run by young people who actually pass through my training, my mentorship program of the Young Aviators Club. We have women aggressively also coming into it. We have women owning these companies. We have women who are also operational in this. And I look forward to the next challenge, which is advanced air mobility. From the time immemorial, mankind has always wanted to fly from their houses to work, and now that is a possibility. And we cannot underscore the possibility of also manufacturing those drones in Kenya, which will open up more employment opportunities. Last year, I was honored to have been nominated to the Hall of Fame for women in advanced air mobility, making me the first Kenyan, which was humbling. And that just shows me how much work I need to do to interest more women in this sector.
Such an inspirational story there by Rose Wangoi. Now, let's take a short break now. We'll come back. We'll get back to sports with Banandong on the other side of the studio. Don't go too far.
I'm telling you guys, this new Showmax app is on some next level business.
Oh, it's mad. I know, man. All Premier League games live. 308 games on my phone.
Good quality.
Outstanding.
And you can even adjust your data settings. Let's say you're somewhere where the network isn't so good or you're using data bundles.
Is it too able to one thing? Bro, you can pause, rewind, and press play. So, bro, if you missed a game at the beginning, you can still watch it from the start as long as you tune into that game before it ends.
500 bob a month. How many beers are those? It depends with what you're drinking.
Shika the new Showmax app today and get every Premier League game live on your phone for just 500 shillings a month. Shika Showmax, streaming for Africa.
Enjoy up to 100% asset finance, zero processing fees, and flexible repay options through our trusted partners. Visit any Family Bank branch countrywide to learn more and get started.
CASNEB Foundation, in partnership with HELB, ensures that no student is left behind in their pursuit of all CASNEB certificate, diploma, and professional qualifications. The scheme provides finances for tuition from CASNEB accredited institutions and examination fees. The foundation's role is to empower the youth through mentorship and coaching, and also support communities through our robust outreach initiatives. Apply today for the CASNEB Foundation financing scheme at www.hef.co.ke. For inquiries, call us on 0111 661529 or email casnebfoundation@casneb.or.ke and Casneb Foundation on all social media platforms.
5 questions with Sarah. Hi guys. Wow, Sarah, your skin is glowing. What beauty soap do you use? I use a beauty soap that keeps my skin soft, moisturized, and protected from germs. But Sarah, the beauty soaps I know don't give germ protection.
Dettol Skincare does. It combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
In Kenya, the Nature Conservancy has been working with partners to conserve our country's natural resources, including watersheds that provide clean water to millions, fertile soil to grow crops, mangroves that absorb carbon and protect our coastlines, and wildlife that fuels our tourism industry. We're building on more than a decade of successful partnerships for conservation in Kenya for people and nature. Learn more at nature.org/Kenya. Together, we find a way.
Kenya, twende mbele. NCBA, go for it.
Hello there, it's the last Saturday of the month. Good evening, I'm Bernard Ndong. It's time for the sports update, and we kick off with the Mozart Bet Cup, where Patrick Matasi was the hero for Kenya Police as he saved a penalty and scored the winning one as the disciplined forces ended their trophy drought in emphatic fashion at the Ulinzi Sports Complex, beating KCB 8-7 on post-match penalties to win the cup. The regulation and extra time was a cagey affair, with the two teams missing numerous chances to score. The match sparked to life in the shootout, with both teams displaying an impressive array of penalty kicking. In a ping-pong affair, Police and KCB scored their penalties with each missing once. But when the bankers Shadrach Simiyu stepped up to convert his penalty, experienced goalkeeper Patrick Matasi anticipated the shot and parried it away. The former Harambee Stars custodian then sent his teammates and their fans into a frenzy when he calmly slotted home the deciding penalty, sending his opposite number Farouk Shikalo the opposite way to secure the plaudits. Police were awarded 2 million Kenya shillings and will now represent Kenya in the CAF Confederations Cup next season.
Matasi akapiga penalti ya 9 kwa Police FC na moja kwa moja akaiweka kwenye kamba.
The National Rugby Sevens team, the Morans, qualified for the quarter-finals of the Africa Men's Sevens tournament that kicked off on Saturday in Mauritius. The Morans began their campaign with mixed fortunes, winning 2 matches and losing once at the La Bourdonnais Sports Club. The Morans mauled the host team 40-0 with Edmund Anya and Benson Salem scoring a brace of tries. Teammate Dennis Abukuse and Elvis Olukusi also got their names on the score sheet. The second match against Nigeria, Morans rallied to score 5 tries, with the usual suspects Anya, Salem, Abukuse and Amon Wamalwa getting the points for Kenya. However, the third game, the Morans faltered, losing 7-5 to Madagascar. Let's focus on another regional championship, and this time it's in Kabaddi, where Kenya managed to dominate their opponents, that is Uganda, of course, with the 4th consecutive title being bagged as they maintain their dominance in the continent, beating the Ugandans 44-23 in the final at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani Indoor Arena. Now, the hosts did not waste any time to get the game going as they opened a 7-point gap in the first half when they took an 18-11 lead. At halftime, Kenya was still on the driving seat, with a 2013 lead heading into the break. In the second half, the hosts picked up from where they left off as they stretched the advantage to 29-16. Kenya proved to be too good for their neighbors in the second half, taking the game beyond Uganda's reach as they doubled their opponent's points, Stanley leading 43-21 before winning the match 44-23. Kenya's James Kamweti was named the man of the match as Samuel Wafula took the best defender of the tournament accolade.
It's a passion. The game is really interesting. I really love Kabaddi. Kabaddi is once you get on the mat, points just follow you. Yes, yeah. So man of the match I'm used to. Anytime man of the match sees me, they just have to run towards me. Yeah. So I have to grab the opportunity.
It was also a World Cup qualifier. So the next step, one, is to maintain our quality and standard. But importantly, we are going to feature, represent Africa in the World Cup slated for Dubai next year.
Now let's head on to Euro, where, of course, the defending champions Italy were knocked out by Switzerland by 2-0 in the last round of 16 clash that concluded about 30 minutes or so ago. Now, there's another game that's going to be kicking off in the next 30 minutes, and that is, of course, Germany, who will be facing off against Denmark. Now, tens of thousands of fans. Now, take a look at the screens and get a feel of how the atmosphere is going to be when those two sides face off. Now, those two teams will be facing off in the last 16. You can see the Germans there, of course, excited, cheerful, showing their confidence in the German team, chanting, Berlin, Berlin, we are going to Berlin. That is the final that will be held on the 14th of next month. Now, the fans waved Germany flags and held banners claiming that their team was only 4 matches away from becoming the Euro champion 2024. Die Mannschaft will face Denmark in the round of 16, and if they triumph, will face either Georgia or Spain in the quarterfinals. Scarlett Rovanpera took a narrow lead at the Rally Poland after Saturday's morning stages. Rovanpera edged ahead of his British Toyota teammate Elfyn Evans by just 0.1 of a second after snatching the lead from overnight leader Norwegian Andres Mikkelsen in a Hyundai, who is in third place. I hope that your sports appetite has been satisfied. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. My name is Bernard Ndong.
Well, thank you, Bernard. Now, that does it for us. But on 12 Minutes tonight, Bernard Ndong will be focusing on the National Secondary School Rugby 15s champions, All Saints High School in Embu, and how they disrupted the status quo. Enjoy the rest of your viewing. My name is James Smart.
This is NTV.
Nivea Pearl and Beauty Deodorant. The perfect balance of 48-hour protection and care for soft, smooth, and beautiful underarms. Try our new Pearl and Beauty Black Pearl for smooth and perfumed underarms.
Tucheze, tusaidie na tushinde. Na ushindi wako kwenye draw ya 30th of this month ni Promote nayo au 750,000 Kenyan shillings. Hustling, dial *570#. Chagua option number 4. Tucheze, tusaidie, tushinde.
5 questions with Sarah. Hi guys. Wow, Sarah, your skin is glowing. What beauty soap do you use? I use a beauty soap that keeps my skin soft, moisturized, and protected from germs. But Sarah, the beauty soaps I know don't give germ protection.
Dettol Skincare does. It combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
This show inspired generations with the laughter, the fun, and the good times. Brought to you endless talents and changed the lives of many across the country. And now, are you ready for the return of Africa's biggest comedy show? Churchill Show, starting this July on NTV. This is NTV.
All Saints High School in Embu won the national 15th title during the Term 1 secondary schools games. Now, several of their players are definitely going to be considered for the regional finals, just like this one that's happening here in the capital, Nairobi, to select the national under-18 team. That is our focus on 12 Minutes tonight. All Saints Embu High School was established in 2009. The school marked 15 years in 2024, but within that period they've disrupted the status quo in Kenyan secondary schools rugby. All Saints soared to the summit at the 2024 games that were held in Machakos last April, clinching the national title, standing holders Butula in the final 12-10 without scoring a try. The match was played in wet conditions. The odds were stacked against them in the opening half as they trailed the Western Giants. But the kicking specialists, led by utility back Josephat Karanja, who sank in 9 points, inspired the fight back with an additional 3 from his teammate Amos Onyango to secure the plaudits and make history. It was a memorable win that erased the pain of the previous year, where Butula hammered All Saints 38-0 in the final.
Butula pia tulikuwa nao pool moja, walitupiga
game ya pools, but tukaambia tutapatana tu finali juu hakuna timu nyingine tuweze kufika finali. Finali tulipata nao, game ilikuwa rough, ground ilikuwa matope, but tulifanya yote tukajaribu. First half walikuwa wametuweka tries mbili, so half time tulikuwa tunaenda ilikuwa 10-0, but tulienda half time tukajicompose, tukaongea, tukasema tunadai hiyo kombe. Tulienda hapo tukaongea Chelsea, wakatuongelesha, tukakubaliana kama sisi form 4 ndio majority kwa hivi team. So tuliongea tukasema ni mwaka wetu ya mwisho na lazima tuiwai. Tulirudia second half, put our best foot forward na tukaiwai. Hatukuweka try but points tuliwabit na points juu walikuwa na kick, tuna receive, tuna attack. Na hivyo ndivyo tuliwabit na points, walikuwa na knockouts mingi.
The journey to the title was the culmination of proper planning, sacrifice, self-discipline and a drive to succeed. Head coach Benson Kenywa reveals that the team's prowess was a lengthy process that began 5 years ago.
Our journey has been very soft. We started back in 2019, and in 2019 when the COVID was there. In 2020, COVID was there, and then this time we started with sevens, and then we won sevens in Eastern. So we presented Eastern in sevens in Nakuru, and then we came back. We started in we started in 15s in 2022. 2022 was sevens, and then 2023 was 15s. We were number 2. We went for Rwanda, and then we were number 2 in the nationals.
Part of the recipe to success was ensuring each of the players was adept in the basics.
Key things that I did with the All Saints, it's all about fitness, it's all about taking the technical aspect of the game, the basics of the game, so that they are young boys. So everything, the technical part of it, the basics, it's step by step. They know what they are supposed to do, where we are supposed to do anything, what the game, what it needs. If it is a scrum downs, the techniques, everything that they have to do. And then you can see that we won with a lot of kicking techniques. Yeah, it is not about all that fitness that you have mass meaning. It's about technical. Yeah, where we need to go for points, they need to go for them.
The team trains 3 days every week, with their program beginning at 4:30 p.m. until 5:30 p.m. after classwork.
Na balance juu hapa hivi shule tunaenda maybe games 3 days per week, Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Actually inasaidia kurecover, plus sometimes kuwa na hiyo wasiwa rugby tuna extend pamoja, tunasoma pamoja, tuko na bond, yani kila mali tuko watu wa rugby. Yeah.
Reinventing themselves with each opponent proved to be their secret weapon. In one of their group games, they faced Kisii High School, who were imposing in size.
Nationals tulikuwa na challenge kidogo juu ya hawa sasa walikuwa na mass kiasi kutuliko, but tulikuwa tunajua size doesn't matter. So tulitaka low. Game ilikuwa ngumu, ilikuwa ya Kisii School juu hao sasa ni wazito kiasi, walitulemea, but tuko beat na points. Butula pia tulikuwa na pool moja, walitupiga game ya pools, but tukaambia tutapatana tu finali juu hakuna timu nyingine tuweze kufika finali. Finali tulipata nao, game ilikuwa rough, ground ilikuwa matope, but tulifanya yote.
They, however, have a peculiar gym session.
And then they go for gym work, maybe after classes at 10 for their fitness. And then on Saturdays we have longer days because it's a weekend. On Sundays, we have a longer period for training.
This intensive program should, however, not disrupt their core responsibilities as students. A significant number of the first team are in Form 4. The players have to ensure that their performance in class mirrors their output on the rugby pitch.
In class, they have to actually give us results, because here we believe that the student qualifies to be a student when he generates results. And it's true, in the fields, they are players. In class, they are students, genuine students. Most of these students, they're in the top 10. I can single out Moses Ajak. He has always topped since he joined this school and he's in Form 4. Whatever you do in class about how bright you are, then go and do it in the field.
Josephat Karanja, who won the most valuable player, is one of the school's top students.
I have Karanja in Form 3, the most valuable player in the tournament last time. And he has also topped since he joined us in Form 1. We have others who are actually within the top 10 bracket. So we can say academically they are good.
Karanja is one of my best players, my best kicker, one who listens, my best planner. When I think everything that I plan about their game plan, he executes it excellent.
Na anacheza position number 10 na 15. Na tulikuwa huko kwenye michezo Machakos, tulicheza vizuri na kujituma. Baada ya game nikasikia mimi ndo ni the most valuable player kwa hiyo tournament. Nilifeel poa, sikuwa na expect, lakini watu walikuwa wananiambia mimi ndo ndapewa hiyo MVP because nilikuwa nacheza vizuri.
The school supports the team in numerous ways to ensure they perform at their optimum.
We support the rugby players in very many ways, especially in terms of the diets. We have some special diet for them because of the mass that is required in rugby. We also make sure that they have the necessary attire in terms of the practice. For example, we've bought them boots, we bought them quite a number of sets of uniforms, the headgears. We have a gym that we have equipped for them so that they are actually fit throughout in all ways.
Captain Brian Oyugi will be completing his studies this year. He secured a scholarship to play for All Saints High School Embu after being introduced to the game in Class 4.
Tulipata scholarship kuja All Saints 2021. Tulipewa scholarship boys watano from our home ground. Tulikuwa lucky, tumefurahi kwa pamoja. Tumekuja All Saints, tumebuild mambo zetu hapa hivi. Some of the players wamekuja mtijoin katikati.
This blend of experience and youth will be critical during the East African Games, which will be held in Uganda in August. Kenya has a plan to ensure they are adequately prepared for the regional games.
Whatever we are doing now, the training that we are having now, we are having another serious training that will go for longer. And we are always ensure that God has blessed us, that we are in a very good environment. So we go to Mount Kenya for fitness once in a while. And I think with fitness, good diet, good gymming, we are going to win this game.
At least 5 players are in Form 4 and will complete their studies this year. This will test the squad's depth going forward once they leave. Having a consistent pool of talent will ensure All Saints continues to dominate the local high school rugby scene. The technical bench has been intentional in scouting for potential players.
The current players who are here, they will finish Form 4 this year. So about 5 of them, they are going to be joining under 18, whatever we have talked about. So some of them will be joining the universities. So it is my first lot that is clearing in All Saints.
The departing players are keen to attract the attention of the national selectors. Earlier this year, the Kenya Rugby Union began a program to identify talent in partnership with the country's public and private schools. The initiative is geared towards providing a pipeline to the national age grade squads and eventually the national senior team.
When I was given this appointment and this opportunity to serve the country, the first question I asked myself is, how are we going to be able to choose a team that represents Kenya in terms of selection and equity? And we said, right, let's do our selection first, but then go down to the regions. The ultimate would be to have a regional tournament. Where Northeastern play Nairobi, Nairobi play Western play Coast, etc. And then from there, we can have a truly representative national team.
So Coach, help us understand how the national schools 15th champions, the All Saints, will be involved in this under 18 program.
Well, the first things first is congratulations to them. I think they are a team, and it's good to see teams from outside the mainstream teams performing well at the national level. So they have been selected. Some of their players, quite a number in fact of their players, have been selected as part of the Eastern Regional team. So we'll be going to Embu to see them next month. So then we're going to select the top 30 players from the Embu region. So they are definitely in the frame, and the plan is to make sure we integrate them as part of the larger Eastern region selection team.
So coach, when you conduct these trials, what exactly are you looking at in terms of the skill set of the different players?
In the selection one, there's rugby specific, which is core skills around positional play. The other is non-rugby specific, which is attitude, ability to mix with different people you've never met. So that is also what the coaches are observing and seeing how they can make the selections through that.